Hello and welcome everybody to round one front nine coverage of the 2020 Green Mountain Championships presented by Discraft, the world leader in disc sports. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here by Tristan Tanner. I'm so stoked to commentate on these rounds.
Yeah, Smuggler's Notch is one of the most exciting places we play all year. It's just a super fun property, and being up here in Vermont this time of year is just incredible.
36 holes of completely unique disc golf, and the players are starting on the heavily wooded 18-hole Brewster Ridge course, and I am so stoked to watch these players attack this place.
Yeah, this place isn't super tight in terms of woods, but it's very technical in the lines you have to shape, and we have some very technical players on the card.
Almost entirely technical. It's going to be a blast to watch. James Conrad, Tim Barham from Michigan, Andrew Fish from Maryland, Nate Perkins, all players that are very, very good in the woods and have won a lot of events in the woods.
Yep.
And as you can see here, these players to watch, pretty much all the top names coming out to these courses. They've come year after year. And we're starting out to hole one, 320-foot straight ahead, kind of a nice entryway into the course.
Yeah, there is a slight right finish to this hole, but if you play a dead straight shot from the tee, you're going to be 15, 20 feet left of the basket.
Yeah, it's almost like one of those basket placements that tries to get you to throw the turnover, but you really don't have to.
Yep.
And one of the best woods players in potentially disc golf history is taking the tee with none other than an AVR.
Yep. That might actually be his DX Rock 3.
And it actually is. He's going for a lower line. And as you can see, he is trying to play that turnover. Snuck through a little bit and got to just outside circle one. And Tim is a super technical player. Throws a lot of really cool flip-up shots, has a great sidearm, and actually has an awesome overhand game as well. Going high flex sidearm.
Really overstable fairway driver.
and
it drops.
There you go. I think that was a machete from Tim. He does like to throw that disc. And yeah, the Plinko play, I guess, throwing up in the canopy of that tree might be a decent option.
Yeah.
And Andrew Fish, for a lot of you who have not seen him play, he is an ex-Ultimate player. Played very high-level Ultimate for a long time and has a super awesome technical woods game. And I think this is a Comet he's throwing.
It's just fine.
From Austin, Texas. Let's give a friendly Vermont welcome to Nate Perkins.
They really did give us the ultimate starting card on Brewster Ridge.
Yep.
Nate also routinely performing well at Idlewild, Waco, a lot of the tight wooded courses as well. One of the more technical sidearm players that you'll see on tour.
Just a little pulled over there. Oh, and he actually has a second tee pad as well.
And he puts it to about 20 feet.
Great putt.
It's an awesome... Oh, he's pumped. All of the fans that were not allowed
Yep.
clapping for Fish.
Another good putt. And this is one of the interesting courses where we have a lot of, not a lot of baskets, but some baskets in the open after a wooded shot. But they're still in the woods. They're just in a more cleared out area.
Yeah, and I think that's probably an intentional thing too. I think there's a lot of course designers that don't like the idea of putting the disc inside circle one and then having an obstruction. Tim with a nice start as well. And that, I believe, is 3 birdies and a par for our card. And we move into hole number 2, one of the tougher fairway hits here. We do see this straight uphill fairway, decent sized tunnel, but what you don't see is the fact that the right half of the fairway is where you want to land that disc.
Yeah, really, that tee pad we just flew over is a perfect landing zone, and any farther up you can get from that is just incredible. And then you have this really weird technical left to right shot up into the green.
Exactly. And with the righty backhand, if you're not throwing some sort of forward pushing hyzer flip or a flat shot, the more left you are in the fairway, the more flex you have to throw in that second shot.
And we should mention the whole rock wall on the right side is out of bounds. So that was actually a great kick.
Awesome kick for James. As you can see, he was trying to throw something super flippy. Tim leaking a little bit left on that. Still might have something to get up there for a 4. Oh, yeah.
Might get the little Annie skip. Yeah, that's a great shot.
That's going to be really good. I'm guessing Nate's throwing a night strike here. And that's about where you want to be.
That's pretty perfect.
Middle
position.
to right side of the fairway. And James sneaks all the way through the right side. That is an insane shot.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Straight through the trees.
That is a tap-in birdie.
Wow. That was amazing.
That's going to
Nice
sit
see.
down. Should be fine.
Yep. Looks good. See Nate choosing the standstill forehand. There are a lot of roots and little loose rocks on this course, so we'll probably see a lot of players choosing more standstill throws from the fairway.
Fish going with a little bit too high of a sidearm, almost getting that full flex out of it. Fish giving it a bit of a bid. Taking a 4 in this one is really not going to lose you strokes in the field.
Yes, Nate.
Awesome birdie from Nate.
Huge putt. Oh, we get a second look at this one.
That's about 40-foot clean spin putt.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, Nate is usually known for throwing rocket, like laser beam spin putts. So it's awesome to see him controlling that tempo there as well on that longer putt. Fish cleans up his par. I guess tap-in birdie in this hole's pretty good.
Yeah, from the farthest drive back, too.
Good job, James.
That's crazy.
Not a bad spread on that hole.
And moving on to hole number 3. This is a really interesting shot. It's only 280 feet, probably plays a little bit over 3. But we're going up over this hill, and you can actually only see the very top part of the flag of this basket. And a lot of players are taking anywhere from putter to fairway driver, just trying to get it up over the hill and then finish slightly left.
In practice, a lot of players I was watching were not realizing how uphill this tee shot is. As you can see, James trying to throw that same flippy disc that he threw on 2. Puts it to about circle's edge. That's looking good.
Oh, wow.
That was a perfect shot
That was
from Nate.
actually perfect.
Tim, I think going Undertaker, if that is a driver.
Oh, man.
And
That's great, too.
pretty good. Comet from Fish. So the course is not this easy,
Yeah,
but
it really is not.
The card is really throwing pretty clean shots right now. Here's James from about 25.
Great.
James starting out with the turkey. And all from pretty long putts except for hole 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice way to start.
And we have pretty much drop-ins from everyone else. It's kind of a weird hole that you don't normally see drop-ins on just because of the uphill nature. It's really easy to finish really far left.
Yes, really far left or overcompensate and burn one over right. But again, it's one of those holes that the players who have been here for the 14 days for the quarantine, they've had a lot of time to practice out here. Hole number 4, 575 feet, par 4 uphill. You have to hit this initial gap and bend subtly to the right. Any disc that's too far overturned is going to be in trouble. Any disc that saws off left is also in trouble. You have to throw a very precise, subtle turnover shot uphill.
Yeah, and then you have a very similar shot into the green, just a slight turnover or a forehand. But again, just it's really hard to control the disc on the slopes of this hill. And man, James with a little bit of a slip, but still got pretty far up there.
And he's actually potentially going to have a lane through that left side, which is not common. Nate also putting himself in a decent spot. Almost turned over all the way, but still actually decent spot from that lane that he landed in. And Tim got a nasty roll bounce off a tree. And he's going to have to start scrambling here. And he gets out.
Yeah.
That's got to turn a little bit more. Oh, and it hops the rock
yes.
wall.
Beautiful.
Textbook up and down there.
Yep. Going a little flex forehand. Playing out to that right side of the green, which is really a good play, not trying to park the basket, leave yourself inside the circle putt.
Exactly. To park the basket on that upshot, you really are having to throw some sort of flex shot like Fish just threw. And that rock wall is not out of bounds on this hole. So he is safe. He's got about a 30, 35 footer. James going a little bit too far to the left. Looks like he pulled out Old Greenie.
That's a smart play there. These these trees on the left and right of this fairway are so tight that it's really hard to scramble out of.
Yes. Great play there from James. And here's fish from a decent distance just outside circle 1. That's a great up and down from Tim. This is definitely a tough par 4, and to be able to be that far left and scramble out to the fairway, get up and down, it's a very professional move. And no big numbers yet from our card. All playing pretty steady. James again with a pretty textbook up and down after pitching out to the fairway. And we move into hole number 5. 305 feet. Similar to hole 1, except now we have OB all along the left side.
Yeah, and if it seems like if you hit any tree on this hole, you're kicking into the OB.
Yes.
No matter what side, you're going to end up over there. And then the basket is just sloped down to the right here a little bit.
And I think that does bring in the strategy of throwing a faster disc on a lower line and potentially mitigating that potential bad skip. James's turnover is a little straight, but he's still just outside circle 1.
Oh.
Okay.
He was calling for it, and that was really close.
That's got to come out of it.
Come on. Oh,
Good kick.
Yes, really good kick.
Makes up for that last hole for Tim. He's about 34 feet from the basket.
Fish. That's just bad.
Wow.
Okay. And that's a distance that we've seen James pretty, like almost a majority of the time make the putt from. It's almost not surprising anymore. Just low for Tim. Couldn't capitalize on the good break there.
Great birdie from Nate.
Always
Almost an
feels good
ace.
to get it. Always feels good to get the birdie, especially after missing one in the last hole.
Appreciate it. Yeah, of course. My pleasure.
Moving on to hole number 6. It's just a slight downhill, right to left moving shot. It's really, you're not playing an overstable disc going down. You're more playing a glide all the way down the hill and try to flip up a little bit.
Exactly. And you've seen players get this hole with mid-ranges, putters, drivers. Anything overstable, though, will be short left. And there is a kind of a bunker of trees that will stop your disc. So it does have to flip up a tiny bit in order to get down to the green. James going putter.
Wow, crazy reaction.
And that had some pace on it for being a putter.
Definitely did.
He'll be about the same distance as last hole.
And I was practicing right behind James, and James actually aced this hole in practice. So that's pretty good.
Potentially going for it again.
Yep.
Nate hitting an early tree, kicking left, I believe. And if that gets left, that might be solid.
Just a little bit low to let the disc fade back down the hill. Let's get through. Pretty good reaction off the ground there, yeah.
Definitely. He's about 25 from the basket.
Oh, Nate had to go forehand roller. And another forehand.
That's going to sit. Okay.
Good tree there. Keep him closer to the basket.
Just off yet again for Tim. And he shakes it off.
And James with another edge of circle putt. Man.
And he's 5 for 6 right now. That step putt of his is just one of the more beautiful things in our sport to watch.
Yeah, seriously. It's so committed. And it feels like every single time he's hitting a ton of chains.
Fish gets the good birdie there. And he also has had a pretty solid start.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, little high from Nate,
Yeah.
but snags the 4, and he's just going to have to move on and try to snag some birdies to make up for it.
And that's the first blemish on this card, I think.
Yeah, just total. Just 1 bogey so far.
I'm Paul Macbeth, and today I'll be talking to you about my 2020 Tour Series disc, the Luna. The Luna is made for everyone. It was the first disc in my lineup because of that fact. It's extremely easy to throw, it's got a tremendous amount of glide. I would use the Luna for all types of shots and distance. It's my putting putter, but I think the Tour Series is mainly going to be for upshots and drives. If you'd like to try the Luna for yourself, you can find it at discraft.com or your local disc golf retailer.
Hole number 7, par 4, 560 feet. Off the tee, you have a few options here. The drone is flying by this left tunnel, early gap. There is a bit of a middle gap where there's a lot of scrambling to be done. And then you can go backdoor if you really crush your drive. And then you're moving uphill around these trees to this guarded basket. It's a sweet hole.
Yeah, this hole's amazing. Off the tee, it's like you said, you're just trying to get left. It really doesn't matter which one of the gaps you end up taking, as long as you're left. And then the second shot is kind of deceiving going uphill.
And James is going mid-range, it looks like. MD4, not a common play from what I've seen. And he just puts it straight, doesn't even try to get up the fairway. And Fish is going for that backdoor route. And he should have a very
yeah.
open look from there
That's
up,
gonna be
up to
great.
the green. Tim going inside, that might work. Yeah. He's going to have some scrambling to do, but he does have a look to the green.
Yep. Just a little bit of turn. Oh, that could be rough over there. Wow.
He is juiced
Wow.
the shot. Oh my gosh.
What?
I think that's in circle 2.
It looks to be. That was incredible.
Great shot from
Holy
Nate.
cow.
Like I said, Tim does have a look at the green and just clips the outside of that tree.
Pretty good kick, though, off of it.
Yeah.
Still going to be putting. Great shot from James.
That was fantastic. Super committed. Fisher's throwing kind of this technical nose-up flex. Almost got it to fully come out of it, and he's about circle's edge.
Oh my gosh. That would have been the most insane 3 ever
Of all time.
of all time.
Fish looks like he has a little bit of a window.
How do you throw it there?
And this is Fish from Circle's Edge yet again.
Oh, that's a great putt.
Snags the par after a bit of a bit of a scary comebacker. But he lives to see another day. And another birdie from James. You can just tell right now that the disc is just coming out of his hand, and you know exactly what line it's going to fly. And you can tell that he knows exactly what line it's going to fly.
Yep.
Start to finish, he's fully in control right now. And not to say the other members of the card are playing terrible. You just don't see someone go 6 through 7 too often out here.
And hole number 8 is a really tricky par 4 once again. There's a couple of these trees that kind of seem to be in the middle of the fairway. You can either play a hyzer flip down the more left gap or a slight flex down the right gap, trying to get somewhere right here where the drone's flying over to leave you this straight, slightly flexy approach into this green.
Yeah, and again, like you had mentioned on hole 2, the second shot on this hole is really challenging because of the footing. There are a lot of exposed roots and rocks in the middle of the fairway, and there's a lot of standstill or sidearm opportunities. And James is just keeping it super simple. I think that was a rock yet again.
That might have been Thunderbird.
You think Thunderbird?
Or T-Bird.
Anyway,
It looked to be a driver.
It was far and straight.
Yep. And Fish going with that slight flat flex kind of thing. And that's a great position too. That's really right where you want to be.
Whoo! Tim sneaks by that right gap, and he's going to be unfavorable lie.
Yeah, not going to be the best slide, but definitely the best outcome of where that was going. Oh, no.
And I think Nate was trying to maybe play that hyzer to the right side.
Yeah, it looked like it.
And that was a nasty kick right. Nate just coming out here to assess where he's even at, where he's even throwing from. And on this course, you really want to see what part of the fairway you want your out shot to land.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
At least he's out. Pretty technical forehand. Gonna be on the right side, but it looks like he should have a gap from there.
Tim's also having to get creative here. I think he'll like that side of the fairway. He'll be able to throw a sidearm from there.
Oh, and this looks amazing.
Great shot from Fish. That's a far second shot.
Yeah, it's extremely uphill. You can't really tell on video, but it's way up there.
And Tim, I think, throwing Undertaker on this shot rather than the sidearm I thought he'd throw, and he has also thrown a fantastic shot.
Oh, my gosh.
Man. And James is about 25 feet from the basket again.
He's been liking that distance today.
You know, it's nice when your putt is feeling that good to where it doesn't really matter where your approach shots go.
Yeah, it's really stress-free almost.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
great
Nate.
hit there from Nate.
Good damage control. Takes another bogey, unfortunately.
Yeah, but from where that tee shot was, bogey is not bad.
Not bad at all. And here's James for another birdie.
Just capitalizing.
And there he goes again. Another 25-footer. Another birdie for James.
Woo!
Great save there from
Sneaks
Tim.
it in.
Fantastic shot up to the green. And that makes 2 of these awesome scrambles from Tim.
Mm-hmm. Good putt there after he stretched it out a little bit. Moving on to hole number 9. This one's another one of these tricky, weird shots. It's with how the trees line up, you almost want to flex it a little bit, but then how you land it on the green, it almost anti-skips every time. It's really hard to judge what's going to happen.
That subtle uphill part right before the green is where a lot of players are throwing faster discs into, and then you have a lot of players that are trying to challenge this hole and get there with an air shot, and James is going mid-range here.
Wow, and he actually...
Oh,
wow,
my gosh.
incredible kick.
Nice guys, nice kicks,
Yeah,
I
that's
guess.
great.
Fish also throws a solid line.
Super smooth. Missed that.
He gets kind of a reverse result there.
Let's have a little bit of fade or some leaf fade.
Nate's got to turn a little bit more.
I just sit.
Just outside circle
Yep.
1. Not bad.
Uphill putt. Oh. And like you can see, the slope of this green can really get away from you quick if you're putting from short.
Yeah, now he's back to about 45 feet uphill. Nate's been putting pretty decent from this distance.
Mm-hmm.
See if he can capitalize another birdie here. Oh, just off the top. At least it's sat. He'll take a par and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Way to take his time there. Completing a very long string of pars. Tim's just been slightly out of position on so many of these holes. He has been scrambling very well, which is a pretty common trait for Tim.
And James, that's 8 down through 9 holes. That's insane on this course.
That doesn't happen too often.
That's an incredible round going for James. Nate with a couple bogeys, 1 down. Not too bad heading
Not
into the back
terrible
9.
whatsoever.
And Fish at 3 down. Again, pretty great. Thank you guys for tuning into this front 9. Catch us on the back.
Yep. And again, make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media on YouTube, and they're going to keep bringing you fantastic disc golf content. And again, I'm Brian Earhart, Tristan Tanner. We're out.
See you guys.